If Palantir would capture 8% of this 119 billion market, it would be worth $105 a share. Hi investors, this video is about Palantir. Some incredible news has come out on Palantir over the last week and I wanted to have a roundup so that you're always up to date. We're gonna go straight into it and look at the news that Palantir has invested in a company producing robots. And this is the article on Bloomberg. Sarcos Robotics plans SPAC deal for 1.3 billion value. So if you scroll down, we see that there is Palantir just down here among the investors. There you have it, Palantir Technologies. But this is the kicker, guy. Let's pay attention to this. To help fund the transaction, meaning the SPAC, the companies have raised about 220 million in a private investment in public equity from investors including BlackRock, Millennium Management, Palantir, Caterpillar Venture, and this other company, I don't know how to pronounce it. And so why is Palantir buying this company? Well, first of all, let's have a look at what this company actually does. Okay, we're talking about robots, but what kind of robots? The news is that Sarcos Robotics is planning to go public through a reverse merger with a blank check company called Rotor Acquisition Corp. And the company is a Salt Lake City-based robot maker. Sarcos develops robotic systems for non-repetitive tasks that are designed to increase productivity among industrial and military workers. And so this is it. Palantir is involved both in military and industrial projects, and so what they're probably trying to achieve is to install their Palantir software in these robots. Amazing, right? And this news is so big and I'm so happy to bring it to you because that's what I do. I make video updates when news on Palantir comes out so that you're always up to date. And by the way, I'm an investor in Palantir for your information. But back to the news, let's have a look at a bit more detail on this company. Now, the products that Sarcos makes are wearable devices to help people move heavy objects with mechanical limbs and support, reducing workplace injuries and allowing employees less capable of strenuous labor to carry out tasks such as lifting airport baggage and manufacturing components without assistance. And this is what we're talking about. I'm gonna put this guy in the thumbnail of this video.
Nope.
But guys, if I caught your attention, there is actually even more detail on the business model of this SPAC, Sarcos Robotics. The company will lease its exoskeleton wearable device starting at $100,000 a year. Quite cheap, right? Similar to the total cost of hiring a worker for $25 an hour in the US. Our value proposition is, he said, to deliver the productivity of 3, 4, 5 workers depending on the use case, industry, and the job. And guys, I don't know you, but I'm gonna keep tabs on this SPAC because it's very interesting and I'm probably gonna invest in it myself. And by the way, if you want to know when I buy and sell my stocks, just join my free Discord group. It's totally free and it's a nice place to chat with me. You can also check my portfolio. It is totally public and like I said, free. But hey, there is more news on Palantir that you absolutely need to know so that you're always up to date. Let's have a look at it now. Palantir Technologies wins an 89 million contract, and this contract was with the National Security Administration, NNSA, for the beauty of 5 years. And guys, this seems to be very small, but instead it's massive. And let me show you why. Notably, this marks the company's, and we're talking about Palantir, first contract with the NNSA. And the reason why this is big news is because Palantir normally has one tendency, which is to first of all start with customers, and then once they get settled in, well, Palantir is very hard to replace. And actually, it is the cost of replacing Palantir that makes it a very hard company to get rid of. And so this is great news because we started with this 90 million contract, but we know that this is the deal that will carry on in the future and possibly become even more profitable for Palantir because only one of the software that Palantir offers is gonna be used by the NNSA, which means that there is a potential for this company to even go for the other software that Palantir has got in store. I think in total they have 3 software, but please do not destroy me in the comments because I'm not too sure at this moment. And by the way, this is 4, this is not 3, but hey, let's go for 3. There you go. And guys, a lot of analysts are very positive on Palantir. Let me show you what the latest predictions say on Palantir compared to the competitor Snowflake. So this is the article on Seeking Alpha, and they say, how big is this opportunity opportunity. So Palantir believes that its addressable market is 119 billion. And as I mentioned before, and even the analyst is saying that, the more companies join Palantir, the more value it can potentially provide to the companies and obviously to achieve this 119 billion market. But this is the kicker, guy. Let's have a look at it. Suppose that investors realize that Palantir's opportunity is bigger than Snowflake. And so if Palantir were to trade at a similar multiple, it would value the company at roughly 100 billion or $55 a share. But even more bullish, if Palantir would capture 8% of this 119 billion market, it would be worth $105 a share. And if we get to $100 a share, that would mean a 5x investment from today's price. I've got a pretty big investment in Palantir, and if you don't believe me, just check it. Join my free Discord group. My portfolio is there for everyone to see. But is Palantir just doing well? There are no problems at all? Well, there are some red flags as well, and because this is a very fair channel, I want to show them to you. And this is the article that kind of summarized the main problem that Palantir has got. Palantir CEO disclosed that he sold over 10 million worth of the company share, which means an awful lot of insider selling. But there is a reason for this to happen. The 10 million sale was meant to cover the tax liability tied to the vesting of certain restricted stock units. And the article goes on. Apparently this might happen every year, but am I worried about it? Palantir is actually my third biggest position in my portfolio because I think it's gonna outperform the market probably in the long run for the next 5 years. And if you want to see all the news on Palantir, well, you know, this channel is about that. And guys, I am incredibly bullish on Palantir, and I will make video updates when news comes out on this stock. And if instead you want to have a look at a more speculative play, how about IDEX? The video on the screen right now are the latest news on IDEX stock, an EV play. So click on the video.